All right, it is, woo-wee. My dry shampoo is not completely rubbed in yet, but we are getting there. What is happening back there? Okay. It's Saturday morning. It is the first soccer games of this year. Nathan actually has all the kids but Harper. It's just Harper and I here at the house. At the ball fields already. Nathan's coaching this year, and Drew's game is at, yeah, and he's refereeing a game too. So they got there a little bit early, and Harper and I stayed back a little bit because I wanted to sit and drink my coffee for a little bit. Plus, we're going to be there like all day. And so I thought having two vehicles might be good in case I have to leave with some of the kids whose games are over with for whatever reason, right? So, but Harper and I are about to hit the road, but we will literally be there until 4 o'clock this afternoon. But it'll be a fun day. And I just popped some popcorn to bring. So Nathan's packed like oranges and waters and other snacks. I don't remember what. And I made popcorn. And we're going to bring all that. Are you sneaking some of the popcorn? But we're about to head out the door and go to the soccer games.
It needs more salt.
It needs more salt, seriously. They actually have salt packets at the concession stand. So I got 2 bags of popcorn. And then I made bruschetta for a mom's night thing that I went to last night. So I'm going to bring the leftovers of that. Are you sneaking some of that too? And the bread. So I'm going to put that in the bag before we go. You ready?
Why is this grass like fluffy?
All right, so it is now several days later. The clips that I shared was Saturday morning. We were getting ready for the soccer games, and I had every intention of vlogging the remainder of the weekend. We actually had a really busy weekend, but a lot happened, and I just didn't pick up the camera at all. Like, we are all fine. You know, just things pop up in everyday life that need your focus, and that's basically what happened. So I'll start with the soccer games. They went well. We had 4 games. We were out at the ball field all day, and the kids had a blast. And we came home, and actually on Sunday we hosted kind of a mini reunion with most of my cousins on my mom's side. And then I had a couple of my aunts and my uncle here, and my mom and my brothers. My sister had to work, so she wasn't able to come, but it was a nice time catching up with family. So one of my cousins, hi Michael, was in town from Texas. So it was just good. Like, several of us cousins basically like grew up together. So it was just nice to see everybody again and catch up and all of that. And then this week, I don't even know where this week went. I kept thinking, you know, like I need a vlog, and it didn't happen. Just the week, I don't even have words. Like, again, everything's fine, but it's like each day has just been jam-packed full with stuff happening, whether, you know, kids not feeling well, or, you know, just something that needs my attention away from the house, and just focusing on that. And we have co-op 2 days a week. Okay. Anyway, so the week just didn't go. I think I vlogged once. And so I thought, and I've had this idea in my head that I really wanted to share some stuff on my heart to end out this video that y'all are seeing now. And I just haven't been able to have the dedicated time to sit down and film it, okay? So this morning, so this video hopefully will go out today on Friday, so y'all would see it. So the clips, you know, like I said, are from Saturday morning, but then what I'm sharing now is from today. So I kept like thinking each day, okay, I'm gonna do this, like film this section, and it hasn't happened. Tuesday I came home from co-op absolutely drained. Like, I couldn't even keep my eyes open, and I was like, I've just got to lay down. You know, Wednesday's busy, Thursday's busy. Anyways, here we are. It's Friday, and I'm rambling very much about how busy my week has been. But that's been every week as well. So it's okay. This was our first week. So last week was break week from the co-op, and this week was almost like the first week of school again. I loved break week. That was fabulous. But I don't think it made this week easier. So I need to like fine tune that. So I had something on my heart that I had wanted to share. And then last night, so I will get to what I want to share in a little bit. Then last night, Addison had asked me if I wanted to watch a movie. She had watched this movie already, and she's like, I think Mom would really like this. And so she asked me last night, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. That would be awesome to, spend time with her. And actually, Payton and Miley were there too, and Reagan and Harper. So had most of my girls. Taylor was out late for school. Anyways, we watched the movie Do You Believe? It is on PureFlix, and it actually was made in 2015. I had assumed it was a newer movie. Addison had watched it, and she was telling me about it, and she's like, you just have to see this movie, Mom. You have to see this movie. And so last night I was thinking, I was like, Lord, is this why I wasn't able to film, what I had wanted to for this day? Because I really just feel like I should share about this. So, the Lord works all those fine details out that, it was slightly frustrating. I'm like, okay, I really want to sit down and film this video. I haven't had the time or energy, honestly. And anyways, then we watched this movie last night. So Do You Believe on PureFlix? It was just like, it was so good. It's a story of 12 people and their lives, and they're living their separate lives, and all of them have something hard that they're going through. Okay? But at the end, it's like their lives all kind of intertwine, kind of throughout the movie, and then at the end, it all comes together. And I don't want to spoil it. It is on one of those streaming services that maybe not everybody has, but it's definitely worth trying the free membership, or, pay for a month for the service. If there's nothing else that you like on there, cancel it. We do that. We tend to rotate streaming services. I'll have 3, and then when we're done with stuff, we'll cancel. And anyway, so, but the challenge in it was at the beginning of the movie, there was a gentleman carrying a cross, and he was asking people, do you believe in the cross that Jesus died on and why he died? And he presented this question to a pastor, and the pastor was like, well, I'm a pastor, so of course I do. But this question rattled him, because just being a pastor doesn't mean that, your full belief is in this. You can have the head knowledge, but having the heart knowledge. So he shared this sermon that was pretty powerful, and it affected a lot of people's lives going forward. And in the sermon, he gave out, the rooster's going to show off now. In the sermon, he had little crosses. I say little, enough to fit in your pocket, handed out to everybody, and that was carried on throughout the movie too. But it's just kind of eye-opening. We go through some struggles, some, very hard things in life, and it's easy to think where is God? Why is this happening? And the truth is, he is right there with us. And these things that happen in our life hopefully draw us closer to him. So it's wherever you are, whatever is happening, just don't lose that focus on the Lord. It's very easy. It's very easy to do, but that's why it's important to know the word and have that a part of your everyday life, so that when those moments happen, we already have the word in us and the Lord, with us, that we can fall back on. So I just encourage y'all to watch that movie. It was a really good movie. Honestly, I just looked at Addison and I was like, thank you. Thank you. She had actually asked me the night before, Wednesday night, and it was late. It was 10 o'clock. Mom, is it too late to watch a movie with you? And I was like, well, yes, baby. I am tired. I'm ready for bed. And she was like, okay. And then last night she asked me. And again, I was tired. I told you it's been a very busy, long week. And I was like, no, I'm going to watch this movie because it seems very important to Addison. And I'm so glad that I did. And so we stayed up a little bit too late, meaning Reagan and Harper was past their bedtime too. But it was worth it. We just got to grab those moments with our kids when we can. And it was just so encouraging that she thought it was important to watch this movie. So I encourage y'all to watch it too. So then this morning, okay, I'm getting to the other thing that I had wanted to share with y'all. I've had like some drainage issues, and honestly, I have it off and on since we've moved here, and I think it's from mowing the grass. And we have ragweed all over the property. And after I mow, it will mess me up for a while. I don't know the solution. I could wear a mask whenever I'm mowing. I could do something. I don't really think that would help. And plus, I really don't like wearing stuff on my face. Anyways, I've had this drainage for a while again. But I woke up this morning, y'all might be able to hear it in my voice, with a full-blown like sore throat and more drainage. So I just feel like now I'm getting a cold. And so this morning, whenever I woke up and I, told y'all I was wanting to film this section of the video all week, basically. And then I wake up and my voice is going out and I'm like, okay, it's just how it goes. But, so I'm actually sitting at our fire pit. I wanted to sit in the gazebo for this, but the sun is really bright there. So I might actually have to move because the sun's kind of creeping over me now. But I'm sitting at the fire pit. So I wanted to share, and I will link the video down below. Tiffany from Our Small Town Life. We are friends as well. We have not met in person yet. Tiffany, I, would be so honored to meet one day in person, in real life. It would be super cool. We're a little bit farther apart geographically, but it's been neat to meet up with other YouTubers in the past and stuff like that. But I really enjoy Tiffany's channel. So I will link that down below. And she does back porch chats from time to time. So I was thinking, well, I could do a gazebo chat. I don't have a back porch. Lord willing, I will have a back deck and a front porch one day. But I was like, I could do a gazebo chat. But then, like I said, the sun was too bright. So we're doing a fire pit chat. So she had shared, just some updates and stuff. And then she was sharing about how, as a YouTuber, which I don't use like these titles. I don't know. I'm just not that type of person. But as a YouTuber, and you share portions of your life, your grocery hauls, what have you, there is a negative side of it. And I get asked that question often, like, how do you handle the negative comments and all of that? And honestly, my answer is I delete and move on, because I do not have time for negativity to stay in my head, in my life, in my space, because my priority is my family. And when things are coming at you and these negative things, it can have you just stay in a not so great headspace, right? So I just delete and move on. With that said, it's still there, but it's easier to forget what was said if you delete, right? But anyways, Tiffany was sharing about some of the negative things and how it can kind of hold you back and not fully share things. And she's right. I 100% do that. I'll start to film something and I'm like, oh, people are going to read it this way, or people are going to see this and think this, or someone's going to say a negative comment about, I'll just say the house being a mess. Okay. Y'all didn't see that it was clean, 10 minutes ago, but I've got 11 kids in the house, 5 of them younger, and they can make a mess in a hot second. And I mean a hot second. Like what we share, and I think this, and maybe I think of it a different way because I share on YouTube, but if I'm watching something and you can just see something's a little off or whatever, I'm like, what's going on in their day? Because what a person shares in video is not everything that happens in the day. I'm not sharing when the kids are fighting or a tantrum happens or somebody gets hurt and that needs my attention and it derails from, what I'm doing. Or we're having an off day. I'm having an off day, whatever is happening. I don't share those things because frankly, that's just personal, right? But it's still a part of life. And so what people are seeing is just a glimpse. And I do find it important to share and share real life. And I feel like I do that. And my hope in sharing is that people are encouraged just as a mom. It's easy to look at other moms and think, oh, they have it all together or, whatever. And the truth is nobody has it all together, right? But as a mom of many children, my hope is to share that children are a blessing, and that it's not as hard as one would think having a large family. It is hard. It is harder than having, one or two kids. But it's worth it. And the work and investment that you put into your children, is worth all the hard work that it calls for. Okay, I had to move spots because that sun was getting in my face. And these chairs are wet because I'm out here first thing in the morning. And they're like really wet. I don't know. I don't think it rained, but let's just say my bottom is getting wet, okay? But it's easy to think, oh, I can't handle having a large family. And I'm not saying that everybody should have 11 kids. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I hope that I'm encouraging and sharing the beautiful side of having a large family and the worthwhile investment into our children, no matter how many children you have, okay? Of being a mom. I just think that it's gotten so removed in our generation, in the world today, that people are more focused on the material aspect and not the family aspect. I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word. So forgive me. I'm not good with words. And so sometimes sharing is hard for me because I just think, I don't have the right words. But I know that God wants me to share this. So my hope is that I share encouragement of just being a mom. In the hardship, in the grit, in the daily grind. It's not all Instagram, Pinterest worthy. You know what I mean? Anyways. So one of the things that Tiffany had challenged was not holding back. So she stopped sharing a ton of grocery hauls because people always want to comment about your food, which that just cracks me up. It really does. Like, you share grocery hauls and people want to say, oh, you buy too many bags of chips. Yeah, I do. I buy a lot of bags of chips. We have 13 people that are eating chips. So if we all were to have chips as a side, that is 1 bag of chips. Okay. So if I buy 6 bags of chips, that is a side to a sandwich for 6 lunches, right? Or we're on the go a lot. So, I pack fruit, I pack sandwiches, and a bag of chips. And all of that's gone, right? And yes, we could definitely cut, some of that out and all of that, but it's also our choice. But you put yourself out there, people think that they can say things. And I'm not talking about, I get comments from people who are so sweet. And it's like, Jessica, I just wanted to share this with you. I'm not coming from a rude place. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about like the straight up rude people. But with that said, when people are kind of coming at you like that, it does make you hold back to some degree. And I know that I do that too. And Tiffany had challenged that she wasn't going to do that anymore. And that's so brave of her. So Tiffany, I admire you so much for that. And I'm going to work better at that too. Because I will hold back, not necessarily in grocery hauls, because I kind of reached a point with that, like, I just whatever. And I only share grocery hauls once a month. I sometimes share fill-in hauls and stuff, but I was just very encouraged by that. Like, I will want to share, cleaning up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, if people saw this, they would just be like, what is this woman doing all day? Well, y'all, I am taking care of everybody all day long, and that doesn't mean that all the messes get picked up. I feel like I keep a pretty tidy house, but my bedroom can get away from me. The laundry can get away from me. One, I don't like doing laundry. But anyway, so I just wanted to share my heart in that. And there's the old, saying, like my mom has said this for so long, and I tell my kids this too. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Like, again, there's a place that you can come from. Hey, Jessica, whatever. But I also, a big thing that we have been saying in our house with the kids is this kind and is this helpful? So if you are saying something that is not kind, Maybe you need to think about how to reword it, or you don't say it at all. Is this helpful? Again, if this isn't helpful, maybe you need to think of a way of rewording it, or don't say it at all. It's so easy to say stuff to somebody that you don't know in real life and, hide behind a computer screen or keyboard. But it is real people on the other side of that majority of people are doing the very best that they can for their family, for their kids, and are doing this kind of like as a ministry, sharing their heart and sharing encouragement and hope, especially in the world that we live in. And if we all lifted each other up and not tear each other down, even with different beliefs, like we can agree to disagree. We don't have to have the same beliefs or the same lifestyle, but we don't have to be ugly about it. There was a while ago, and I think it's still out there too. There was like people wearing t-shirts, "Be kind." And like, this is where we are at now, is that people are wearing attire saying, "Be kind," because there's so much ugliness in this world. And so my challenge is, what can we do? What can you do? What can I do to change just a little bit? If you just did one kind thing a day, if all of us did, it could lift up somebody's entire day. Stopping and saying hi to somebody, smiling, not being in such a rush, with driving, or opening up the door for somebody. You see a mom pushing a stroller coming along, stand there a few extra seconds and hold the door open for her, or, whoever. Just be the light in somebody else's day. So I just wanted to share my heart and thoughts that I had from Tiffany sharing hers. So again, thank you, Tiffany. And a challenge going forward is to not hold back, be kind, spread kindness. And I'm a believer of Jesus. And so in my world, being kind and sharing light means sharing Jesus with other people. So in my day-to-day, that is important. Of number one importance to me is to be able to share Jesus and with other people. So I'm going to end the video here. I know I got chatty. This did not end up being into a vlog, but I still just wanted to share our morning of soccer field, because it just, kind of goes along with other vlogs in the future. And I'm hoping I will get back into my rhythm with filming. I think, this week, hopefully next week will be better. That's all I can say. And that's just, like I said, it wasn't just any one thing. It was a number of things piled on each other, and my focus just has to be my family. So anyways, I hope that you all are doing well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, hearing my heart. Check out Tiffany's videos that I will have linked down below. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.